one of the most notable champions played by Sauron, so definitely don't want to let him have that bot lane, or else he'll become a real terror.
Yeah, you want to definitely make sure Jax is banned out, because Sauron's a really, really good Jax player. If you let him get Jax, and he plays Jax, it's gonna be rough. Seeing a Nunu ban that's probably targeted against Envy. Nunu, one of the better bottom laners of the game. Good sustain. It's good damage. Doesn't need mana because of Visionary procs. Fizz's endgame KDA stats. Venny 13. Wanted to know them. I don't know. I could look them up after the tourney.
What is the last ban going to be? Teemo against Sabers. Do not let that through. We're looking at a Draven highlight, most likely not picked though. I'd love to see a Draven, but I do also see why. I mean, he's very strong, but it revolves around, I mean, being able to put up the damage. He is fairly squishy, and he can be caught out quite well. A little bit of mobility, but not that much compared to other ones, such as Ezreal, who once again got through the bans, surprisingly enough, and is going to be picked up by point defense.
And we're gonna see them rotate through champions because Urgot doesn't get banned as much anymore, Beanheart, just because we figured him out. He's been figured out. Which champion will he choose? So many to pick from. There is 100 and something. Eventually, there will be too many champions, and we'll just be like, what do we do?
I am interested in knowing what will happen when there's like 150, let's say, which it's gonna take a little while still, but I wonder if they're going to start maybe like retiring champions.
Oh man, I don't know. That would be horrifying.
I don't think they would do though. Yeah, because some people have paid money for said champions. So, I mean, they might like maybe retire them from tournament realm. I'm not sure. To be fair, I mean, they always put out this argument, and some people don't like it, but it is a fair argument that although they have the most champions they ever had, they also have been having better and better representation of champions at tournaments. You know, I think at the World Championships it's been around 60 to 70. At the tournaments before all summer it's been pretty much 60 to 70%, which is pretty good. So if they can keep it up, I mean, I don't have any complaints. As a caster I kind of do because there's so much to remember, but if they can make it work, I think that's pretty neat. In terms of bans, yeah, they're really gonna have to figure something out there though. They will have to figure out some extra bans. Let's see, we are going to see an Evelyn being picked up once again by Zabers, and then High Peoples on Brands. So same picks for point defense so far. We do see Urgot is the same pick for PECS, but Malphite this time going over to PECS instead of point defense.
Are we going to see just the same exact game? Is that... No, never mind. Painkillers got Malphite. Okay. I was having a what kind of moment for a second here.
Who will Booderice and Booberry pick up? I am not so sure.
I don't know either, man. We did a good job of covering most of the champions in the last game. Ezreal's good long-range damage, global interrupt, Zaber's crazy burst on Evelyn, Brand, good AoE magic. Infeed, Urgot, really good bottom lane. He's got long range and durability. Malphite, attack speed slow. He's made out of rocks, which are hard to break. And Wukong's got a stick. He hits really hard. Lowers your armor, which is actually really good. And he's got an AoE airborne. Fizz is crazy bursty. And summons a damn shark. That's pretty awesome. And don't know who the other pick's gonna be.
Not sure. Fizz also being picked up once again, so this could be a fair, pretty much a rematch. We are going to see an Alistar being picked up, most likely instead of Malphite. Pretty much plays the same role, just without an attack speed debuff, but a little bit, in a way, a little bit more tankiness because of his ult. He also has that heal for the team.
we're seeing a Jarvan highlight. I like J4. He's got a spear thing, and he makes terrain. And Dustin Browder would be really happy for making extra terrain.
Diana being the last pick for PECS, so a couple differences here, but most of the time, or for most summers rather, excuse me there, same champions, but most likely different plays,
Ooh, gonna see
especially
an
from
Urgot top,
PECS.
maybe?
So it's
Infeed's
looking
usually the
like
bottom laner for PECS. I'm excited. Okay, I'm excited now. I'm sitting up. I'm like chilling out over here. Mostly because like my back and shoulder hurt a lot. But Infeed Diana, I still don't know why Diana's amazing. If anyone wants to post in chat and give me a rundown on why Diana is just so like good, because she has a thing with a teleport and like an AoE and does some damage. I don't quite understand it on a technical level of why she's so darned awesome. But yeah, Infeed's the bottom laner, so it's probably going to be Diana versus J4. I don't know anything about that matchup at all. I don't think I've ever seen those two play against each other. Diana's got a long range spammable gap closer. She can snowball a little bit. You can build tanky and do a lot of damage still. You got a damage shield. So she does good damage and can be durable. And despite being a sort of melee range champ, she has a solid gap closer. So that's how she gets away with that. Okay, cool. Thank you, chat. Twitch chat's amazing. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Diana Sauron matchup. So if we're going to see those two bottom lanes, it's going to be, I have no idea how that's going to work out at all. Now, Imagine Melkor played a really good Ezreal before. High People's, it's Ezreal, Brand, and Eve. We saw that last game, and it worked really, really well for point defense. Now we're seeing an Alistar in the mix as opposed to a Malphite. Now, while Malphite has the ability to just kind of like unstoppable force in and airborne a bunch of people, Alistar kind of has to stoppable force in and then airborne all of the people. So it's similar but slightly different. He also has the ability to tell whoever the ranged person is to get out and just hit them in the head. It's like his antler horn thing and just be like, get out. And so he can remove a troublemaker from the fight. And looking at the other side, seeing Buddha Rice with Wukong, Captain Blueberry on Urgot. Yeah, these teams are pretty similar. Only a couple of changes in the roster, which is really, really interesting.
Yep. So I think we're gonna see similar play. Like you mentioned, it's gonna be interesting on how MKH can initiate this time around as Alistar instead of Malphite. Alistar has much better peel, but it is a little bit harder to initiate. Like you said, Unstoppable Force is a or like a guaranteed great initiate as long as the enemy team is grouped up. So we'll see how that turns out. But this time Painkiller has that, and then Budarice can jump in with his, and if they need to, they can separate with Urgot. Not to mention they also have Chum the Waters. So I would say the initiation goes in favor of PECS, at least for the top four versus top four.
Okay, I figured out how bottom lane's gonna work. Okay, so Jarvan is like the Emperor of Demacia or something like that, and he's like the leader guy, right? And Diana's an alien or something. I don't quite know her lore because I haven't read it. I don't read a lot of the lore in the game, admittedly. Although from what I have read, it's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna assume she's an alien. So she comes like down from outer space. So what happens here is like Jarvan sees her and like tries to make peace, but since she's an alien and they don't like speak the same language, she does the take me to your leader thing. And he's like, "Well, actually, I am the leader." And she's like, "Oh, I don't believe you." And she calls BS. And then Jarvan's like, "I have an army." And then she gets run over by cavalry. And then he takes the tower.
Sounds reasonable. I'm not quite sure she's an alien though. She's Leona's sister. Or
I
I
really
think.
should read her lore. It seems pretty cool. Moonchamp.
But should be interesting. The more interesting part here is: are we going to see as much action in the bottom lane? Are we going to see as much mobility? Both teams capable of doing so. So we'll have to wait and find out about that. Loading into Game 2 of the finals of Dominate Dominion number 27.
Ah! My screen's freaking out.
But this should be an exciting match. Once again, point defense is on the blue side on the top of the screen. If they win, they take it all this week. However, if PECS takes game 2, we're going to go into a game 3 tiebreaker, which is always exciting. Love watching tiebreakers. And I am now in game.
I am too. I've never actually broken a tie before. I mean, I have cut one, but ties are kind of hard to break. They're really flexible. Game 2 of the finals. DominateDominion.com League of Legends Dominion Tournament number 27. I'm starting to lose count, man. I had to think about it. It's going to be point defense versus PECS Evelyn Child Support. Point defense up 1-0 so far in the series. If they win this game, they win the tournament. If they don't win this game, PECS has a chance to steal. But only time will tell. PECS Evelyn Child Support on the right. Point defense on the left. Point defense running Sauron on Jarvan the 4th. Zabers on Evelyn. High Peoples on Brand. MMKH as Alistar. And Magimelkor on Ezreal. I'm one half of your casters this week. I am Gander. And back from the abyss is...
Chobra here. Back I am indeed. And on the right side, as you said, it's going to be PECS, or PECS on Child Support, Infeed on Diana, Painkiller on Malphite, Buddha Rice on Wukong, Captain Blueberry on Urgot, and Commentaries on Fizz.
Because it burns them alive.
I think point defense can win.
We will see. They were pretty strong last game. They were pretty strong. But PECS did put up a really good fight towards the end of the game. And with a couple of the champion changes here, we'll see if PECS can pull it back. I think it's really going to come down to, once again, how the action plays on the bottom lane. Both sides
as best I can. What the? We got paused. I didn't do anything. It was not me.
My guess is Buddha Rice might have had another DC.
Oh man, Buddha Rice. Your internets, man.
We'll check really quick what the notice is. Nope, this time it seems to have been Blueberry, so...
Those B names.
Seems to be it. Don't name your IDs B, man.
Yeah. Gameplay will resume in now. Woo! Whoa, my camera. I lost control of my camera entirely. What?
You might have to, if it's default control, if you press your middle mouse again, whatever your scroll map is.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it does that to me all the time, but we do see MMKH jumping over the wall, actually gets to initiate onto Blueberry. Blueberry takes a lot of damage, is forced to use exhaust really early on Zabers, so Zabers pretty much, the exhaust was wasted on Zabers, but Commentaries is sticking to Zabers, putting out a lot of dot damage, and picks up the health rally, very well placed. Or well positioned rather by Commentaries himself, but not able to catch up, and Zabers such a good kiter, that Evelyn. Meanwhile, MMK is just still tanking a lot of damage, but all this time Buddha Rice was simply capturing the windmill, so this one definitely goes in favor of PECS. Very well played. They completely pushed the opponent out, and all the Commentaries got kited and killed. It didn't matter because they got the windmill. He just used his revive, got back in case we saw point defense making a play for the windmill. MMK did indeed use his own revive to come up to the top, but I would say those revives were a little bit in vain from both sides. But once again, since both of them used it, not so much in vain, Commentaries narrowly escapes with his playful Trickster, as we see Zabers on Evelyn trying to pick up that kill alongside MMKH. Point defense gonna have to play it a little bit slow here in the beginning. Buddha Rice jumps over, puts out a lot of good damage onto High Peoples. Meanwhile, Commentaries taking some good damage from Zabers. Needs to run away. Painkiller now back from base with some new items, now going to help zone out. Ezreal actually just picked up a kill onto Buddha Rice on Wukong, and now Blueberry with no mana gets knocked back against the wall. Zabers putting out some good damage, needs to run away though as Commentaries comes in for the cutoff, exhausted. Can he get the kill though? Can he get the double even? He gets one. Can he get the second one? No. But as soon as he starts running, that's a free kill for Zabers because of those hate spikes and the boost base buff that Evelyn gets on every spell cast. So very good chase by Evelyn. Buddha Rice still picks up a kill back from the dead against MMKH. So PECS is still being pretty dominant up at the window.
And a close fight down in the bottom lane. J4 just barely unable to kill Diana in the bottom there. And dang. Missed with a True Shot Barrage. Unfortunately, I saw that coming down there, and Infeed stepped off just to the right spot to not be able to get hit by that. High Peoples and Buddha Rice having a disagreement of sorts, and the Pyroclasm gets used right there, but it mostly got a lot of minion bounces, unfortunately, and really didn't do a lot of damage to Buddha Rice outside the first skip. Now MKH comes in and is like, hey, you're a monkey, I'm a cow, we should have a talk. And Buddha Rice doesn't like talking, so he's going to decoy on out of there. Now MKH is in a pretty bad spot, extended out away from his teammate like that. Keeps Magimelkor a little bit isolated away from everyone else without MKH being there to interrupt. And MKH is going to die for his troubles and not able to pick up the Wukong kill either, so things are a little unfriendly right there. Zabers has discovered a Confedarius in the bushes and chases him a little bit. High People zones with that Pillar of Flame to drive the members of the enemy team back away from him.
Yeah, so I feel like point defense right now is a little bit scatterbrained. They're going in one by one too often, getting picked off. Zabers is still picking up kills here and there because of that chasing ability. Same thing with Magimelkor, but at the same time, as soon as the enemy team initiates together, they are just playing it much better, especially because MKH hasn't been able to get that just prime initiation for the team. If he can get everyone grouped up and knocked up, we may see some better team fighting coming up, but again, it's not as easy as it was on Malphite, so point defense suffering a little bit. The windmill and the refinery are now labeled for the quest. And Magimelkor is down, but Converter is also coming in for the gank. This is going to turn it into a quick 2v2. Magimelkor actually dodges over the wall, but gets drawn in by Diana. That's a quick kill. Chum the Waters doesn't even need to activate. Evelyn comes in for the save with her ultimate, gets the slow with Agnes Embrace, and now Converter dodges the true shot barrage, it seems. But Dragon Strike gonna still pick up the kill by Jarvan. Meanwhile, top lane, we see High People's going to get taken out by that Seismic Shard. Diana going to port back to base really quick to return at full health. MKH also taking a lot of damage, has a Storm Shield, and is going to pick up the health relic. Is that enough though? Nimbus Strike, is it going to be close enough right around the corner? Buddha Rice not able to catch up, move speed buff, there it is. MKH actually now just got the Storm Shield back and trying to draw him into Zabers, but Buddha Rice is playing this really smart. But they still come out. Buddha Rice got a little bit too curious. Curiosity got the better of him. Buddha Rice gets cut off by Magimelkor. There's the exhaust, there's the cyclone. He's not going to be able to get away. Can he at least get a kill? No, decoy. There it is. Magimelkor should be able to pick up the kill as he turns around, but still a lot of damage going down into Ezreal, so they all need to back away once again on point defense's side.
Infeed missed Q down here at the bottom, but that's no big deal. He has plenty more where that came from. Both players kind of in the middle of the lane, right through the wall. Nice play there by Sauron. Dodges through to avoid Infeed there. And Infeed seems to be pushing the lane up a little bit. We got Fizz coming around from behind, potentially. No, looks like he is turning around. Zabers, this is what I like about Evelyn. She can walk down the lane, and Infeed has no idea. Confedarius coming down from the top, though, but they don't realize it is a 2v2, and Sauron taking some damage right off the bat. Confedarius turns around to try and put a little bit of a hurt on Eve, and gets caught with the Cataclysm for his troubles, walks around with nowhere to go. There's no water inside that Cataclysm, and Magimelkor coming down from the top there to deal with Infeed and begin chasing Infeed back away, but Infeed turns around and engages in on Magimelkor, delaying for him as long as he can. Buddha Rice comes down from the top, put that crushing blow in on. Zabers comes up to help out his friend, but finds Wukong is also there now. And now Sauron jumps off the tower to assist. Zabers heading back, waiting for cooldowns to refresh before he can close the gap and try and deliver some damage. Diana getting taken down, and now it's Buddha Rice and Zabers at the bottom lane. Confedarius is alive once again. Zabers picks up the kill, but with Infeed having revived and Confedarius on his way down, this is 1 Q away from disaster. And you don't need the Q, just press that R button, get right up in Zabers' space and start delivering the hurt. Gets with the Q, finishes them off.
Meanwhile, up at the refinery, PECS doing a lot of damage and good pressure. Gets the suppression onto MKH, but that leaves Blueberry with no mana. MKH still alive, finally gets taken down, but Magimelkor and High Peoples were not happy about that play. They want to pick up the skill. There's a Pillar of Flame, just one more auto attack. Mystic Shot, great shot around the corner. Picks up the kill. Now they're trying to chase away Painkiller. They really need to get this windmill. They need to get control of the map again. Point defense is lagging very much behind in their team play. They are going to get the kill onto Painkiller really quick, and that's going to give them the windmill, I would hope. Unless, oh, there's the Chum the Waters, great landing onto High People's. Commentator is targeting all the ones he needs to, gets the kill. Zabers is pretty low right now. Buddha Rice comes in as Wukong, but needs to run away as Magimelkor is putting out some good damage. They're still trading. Buddha Rice is putting out so much damage with that Nimbus Strike. MKH comes in, and once again, point defense is going in one by one. A little bit too much. They still get the kill on Buddha Rice, but now here's Painkiller. They just keep staggering the fight here and there, and that goes in favor of PECS because they still hold the tower. Minions are still pushing up, though. Can Captain Blueberry come up here quick enough? MKH is trying to distract Malphite long enough for the minions to get the neutralized. They are going to get the neutralized.
Budoris. Very, very well played by MKH, but now he needs to run. Blueberry is here. He's going to get the corrosive charge. There's the slow because of his shield. MKH without much mana. There's a True Shot Barrage trying to delay the recap for PECS at the Windmill. Commentarius to get a kill here. MKH needs to run. Playful Trickster not going to reach that far, and we see Sabers and MKH retreating as Maggie Melkor tries to kite. Windmill goes back in favor for PECS. High People is picking up that Storm Shield. Point defense is in a little bit of a bind here.
Yeah, a really good job pointing out that the minions up there were what kicked that tower over, and they were really just kind of buying time to let those minions get the chip capture in on the windmill in that little engagement, I guess you could say, up there at the top. But they really didn't have enough hit points to follow up on that. And Buddha Rice sticking his head out right there. MKH is looking for him and waits for him to be revealed, and then pops the airborne off on him. Zabers goes for Confidaris and takes a nice chunk out of his health. He can exhaust for his troubles. High Peoples comes up from the bottom, throws down a pretty solid Pyroclasm right there. Melkor and Captain Blueberry exchanging shots. They got the position reversal that pulls Zabers out away, and the chunk of waters only landed on one person. Very good spreading out to avoid that. High People's getting chased and kind of routed away from the point. Magic Melkor sitting back and delivering the damage that he can, but it's just not quite enough damage. Well, okay, that's quite enough damage there, but he doesn't have enough damage to like turn that fight around is what I was getting at.
Meanwhile, bottom near death against Sauron. Again, bottom lane is very close. Every fight could go either way. Sauron gets the kill this time around though, and he has the minion advantage. They're pushing up against this Boneyard with quite a bit of a pushing power here, but we're going to see Buddha Rice come down and should be able to clear that no problem. I hope. Tower doesn't have much left on it actually. There's still one super creep though, trying to defend it. Very, very valiant super creep, and there's a new wave, so that's going to be safe for the time being, but that leaves the windmill a little bit open. It's going to be Painkiller alone against 4 people. He needs to just delay as long as possible if they want anything to happen, but there's a stun, there's a pillar of flame, there's the knockdown. Painkiller is dead. This tower is going finally in favor of point defense. This is their moment to turn it around. Commentaries gets the Q and is now going straight for the refinery or going towards bottom. Windmill has been captured bottom. They are going for it. Impy just took out Sauron. They're going to go for a 3-man push against Ori. Get that 3 cap back. And so how will point defense respond to this? We are going to see Zabers go back to base. There's a True Shot Rush coming down. Is it going to connect? It's not. Oh, it barely hits Impy. Well played, but commentaries waited for that and it's now going to start the channel. Zabers actually getting zoned out in his own base. Tower goes neutral at the quarry. It's going to go in favor of PECS. They still hold the 3 cap, 419 to 209. Very dominant lead. Meanwhile, in top lane, Buddha Rice starts the fight against 2 people. High Peoples and MKH. There's a great cyclone, but there's a Pyroclasm. Bounces back to Buddha Rice because of the minions. Gets killed. Well played by High Peoples and MMKH. There's another kill, but that left 3 people at the windmill once again, allowing PECS to completely lock Zabers in his own tower. He hasn't left base yet.
And Captain Blueberry's been doing a very, very good job of zoning with Urgot. Urgot with as much range as he has to be able to deliver people back and kind of keep them contained. Position reversal. It pulls him out of the shark, though, unfortunately. Could stand to have that happen a little bit later. Zabers does get taken down. High Peoples is forced back into his base after getting a good stun combo off on Urgot there. And MMKH and Magi Melkor are still on the other side of the map. They're trying to make a play going for the drill there. Confidaris is going for the refinery, and Payzone and Childsport has wedged them into a very good position in this game.
Yeah, PECS is just putting out so much pressure. Like I said, this game is once again coming down to the mobility of both teams, and PECS is coming out on top. This time around, point defense really only has Zabers for that. I mean, Maggie Melkor can, but he's so squishy. He needs to stick with MNKH, and MNKH not able to really roam about as easily as Malphite can. Needs to really stick with teammates to make great use of his skill set. It's 2v3. No, actually, Zabers comes in from the end to make it a 3v3. They instantly knock back and kill poor Fizz. High People's zoning out Painkiller, and PECS is scattering everywhere. They're going to try to chase down Buddha Rice. If they get this kill, they can try to go for the drill. And we do see Painkiller getting zoned out, but once again, we are going to see Buddha Rice get taken out. There's the ultimate from Painkiller to escape, using that unstoppable force knockup. Very, very well played by Painkiller. But look at bottom lane. We still see Blueberry and Infeed zoning out Sauron this time around in his own base. And now Buddha Rice has come back with that revive. There's Chump the Waters. They're trying to turn the fight around. High Peoples goes down. Evelyn's already been taken out. Buddha Rice goes down though for a double kill by High Peoples. High Peoples with that dot, putting out really good damage. Maggie Melkor now trying to push against this tower with MKH. Commentaries looking for the assassination. He already used Playful Trickster, so now they can lock him down. There's the knockup, there's the knockback. Maggie Melkor going to try to chase down. There's the Phage Proxy. He's going to try to get the kills. There's the playful Trickster though. So much burst damage coming up from Commandeers. He picks up the kill, and can he run away from MKH? MKH gets the knockback, but there's another playful Trickster. Fizz just making the plays. Commandeers is going to escape as Captain Booberry comes in with the slows for the pickup kill onto Alistar. What a fight.
And meanwhile, over at the refinery, a play was made for it, and they were able to get off a neutral, but they took a little bit too much damage while that was going on, which is going to enable them to turn around both those towers. Going to put Payzevon's cloud support back on the lower end of the captures. Point defense now with a third tower in that, and Buddha Rice getting zoned away by MKH there, but Captain Booberry pursuing high peels, but Zabers happens, comes right up in Booberry's face, delivers a whole bunch of hurt, and now Captain Booberry is going to go down. Painkiller diving really, really hard to try and kill High Peoples, and is able to do so, but High Peoples is able to get off a good round of damage beforehand, and there goes the Chum the Waters right there, really taking a bite out of Magimelkor's and Zabers. Almost a double kill right there, and Buddha Rice wants that crushing blow and gets it. MMK shuts him down though.
Meanwhile, bottom lane Infeed putting out some damage onto Sauron. These two are always just in a dual lockdown. You can go either way at any point in time. Both champions, or both summoners rather, doing very, very well. But point defense finally has a 3 cap, and they're starting to catch up. This is now their time to really lock down. They do have better defensive stats just because of Alistar and his ability to peel. They have some good AoE. He can tank so much. And if they can keep that up, they might be able to hold on to this just long enough to make it a much fairer fight here on the Crystal Scar. Up top, we do see Captain Booberry pushing up against Magimelkor. Magimelkor trying to get the damage in. Oh, there's a great knockback, and then the toss-up by Pulverize. But there's a good escape by Booberry, but the follow-through with Arcane Shift. There's Alistar, and this is where Alistar shines. If he has a damage dealer next to him, he can just peel all day, knock block shots. He's just a great tank because of that, a great support utility tank. And bottom lane's not looking too good though. There's a huge Fizz with that Storm Shield. It's a 2v2, but Sabers gets instantly versus Cool. Commentators go down. There's the Cyclone. Yes, Commentators finally goes down, but Sauron's also going to get taken out by the crushing blow. Great play by Buddha Rice and Commentators. And that has led point defense to allow point defense to push up against the drills. 3v1 here in the tower. Painkiller not in a very good spot. Look at MMKH tank that tower for so long, but now they need to escape. Diana and Urgot are back. They still have a 3 cap. They should be content with that. MMKH hits that Moose Shrine and is going to run away as the rest of his teammates do so. And that this time around once again leaves pressure for Sauron to go up against Sponia. 3 people homing in though. He needs to watch out. Or if he gets caught, they need to pressure that drill once again. He is going to try to escape. They get the neutralize onto the Boneyard. The minions are just too strong.
You know, somehow I feel like that was actually a really calculated play. He saw that he had minions, he just cleared out that creep wave, and he's like, you know what, if I get as much cap in as I can on this, the minions will push it over because they're probably going to die for me. At least that's what I think that was calculated, because it would be really weird to start a cap there, knowing that they were visible on the map. So a really good play by Sauron right there. Buddha Rice manages to do, what's that thing? Decoy on out of some damage right there that would have otherwise been pretty rough to deal with. The Hextech Weaver goes off over there in the middle of the map. Eve with one of those. Zabers doing a good job being able to scout for his team. And now Buddha Rice finds Zabers, or rather the other way around a little bit, and takes a lot of damage for his trouble. He is going to get taken down. Now Captain Booberry seems to be the next target that they want there. Position reversal goes down, but really doesn't help him out too much, unfortunately. Alistar almost giving him the to safety kick, but it seems like that they were able to follow up on it pretty good. Now Painkiller has to do another one of those crazy 1 versus 3 or more defenses, and things are just not going so well for him. There's a lot of damage being put on him right there. He's doing the best that he can to defend, but in the bottom lane, Confidaris went down, helped infeed out, we managed to get a gank on Sauron, and Painkiller, with that garrison there, was able to save that tower from being captured. So point defense manages to pick up a tower and saves the other one with a garrison.
Yeah, excellent play coming out from PECS, and Commentaries now going straight for bottom or the refinery. No, he's going to go bottom to try to help Envy, but MKH is there. I don't know if it's going to be a good 2v2. It's going to definitely be in favor of point defense, just because Envy's already taking so much damage. Chum the Waters lands onto Sauron, the great snipe through the champions right there, and now MKH is taking so much damage because of the tower. Booberry has now shown up. They really want to keep this tower down. They just want to keep the 3 cap, and do see Wukong also going up against that Refinery. PECS is just all over the map. They did have to sacrifice Painkiller in the middle of the map, but no worries. They're going to have a 4-cap here in a second. No, they just go for the 3-for-1. They got the neutralized onto the Refinery. Now Booter is trying to make an escape. He tries to dodge the missile shot, gets hit by the Essence Flux, and now is going to be locked down, but dodges the Pulverize. He's still just trying to delay. Delay is the name of the game. We do see commentators pick up the health relic along with Captain Blueberry try to come in, but Blueberry was cut off as he was coming up by Saber, so that leaves commentators alone. A little bit of a miscommunication right there. Commentators dies for that move. Blueberry also going to go down. Point defense getting the cleanup. Can they get the windmill? Yep, they're going to delay the windmill. Infeed is pretty strong though, so Maggie Melkor needs to watch out. They do have MKH capturing the Refinery, so they can't go for any crazy fights, but the tower's still there, is up at the windmill. Sauron's also going to get the quarry back. It's not looking too good for point defense right now. And there's a true shot barrage. Evelyn gets a kill onto Diana. Painkiller jumps in. Will High Peoples go down? No, Painkiller loses track of his targets and is now forced to run away. But there's Commentators. Chum the Waters did miss, but that's still a kill onto Evelyn. Can Commentators get another kill? There's the exhaust. There's no mana on Maggie Melkor, or no mana rather, and MK is now caught alone, but he's so tanky. Can he defend this? High People tries to get the stun, but a great dodge by Commentators and kills him for another kill, and Commentators now coming in under the tower. He needs to watch out, but there's the channel by Buddha Rice. Very well played, and Playful Trickster needs to watch out for the minions. Commentators, is he going to live? He's going to live with 9 health, 11 health, now going back towards base, and now we see Buddha Rice caught in a little bit of a trouble there. Gets cutted by Ezreal, getting this shot to the face to go down. Captain Blueberry, there's a hat-trick number, not good enough. Double kill for Ezreal as he does AD damage. And Infeed down and bottom, putting out a lot of pressure down the tower, but needs to watch out. Sabers is coming down for a gank. It's going to be a 2v1. DFG opens up, so much burst damage going down. Infeed will go down in that exchange. Can point defense keep this up and maybe even turn this game around?
I'm not quite too sure. Conrad has been playing some excellent Fizz so far all game long. It looks like he's got his sights set on the bottom lane now. We see him positioned out behind the Boneyard. There goes the Chum the Waters right there. Sauron is able to get out of harm's way, but Sabers is not, which enables Sauron to turn around, get back into the fight, and deliver some damage, having not had to deal with that extra from the Chum the Waters right there. And over by the drill, though, Ezreal able to get a couple of kills at the drill. They're going to turn around that around. They're going to get a neutral on it. MMKH moving up to do the aggressive kind of zoning, maybe? No, he's going to go ahead and back on out of there. Magi Melkor, oh, he does get the capture on the point. Infeed immediately dives in, though, to try and put the hurt on him, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. MMKH misses with the airborne, unfortunately. Round Slam has such a short range right there, and Infeed is able to take care of that, and now things don't look good for MMKH trying to defend that point, and he's going to get taken down there. But at the bottom lane, though, Sauron and High Peoples having to deal with Captain Blueberry. High Peoples coming down to gank for his friend. A good Pyroclasm, but it didn't really bounce to Captain Blueberry too many times, although he is able to pick up the kill anyway. And he's just going to run straight over, kind of making a beeline for it. Wants to throw down some damage on those minions, get them out of the way. True Shot Barrage goes to the middle of the map, does not find Confedarius, unfortunately, and Infeed is on his way down, but he's not going to get there before the point goes neutral, which it does just there. And actually, High Peoples might get the capture off on the Q, just falls a little short of being able to tag Brand.
High Peoples dodges the Q once again, just trying to delay as long as possible. His job is done right there, but is it going to be worth it? His revive will be up in a second, and Sauron's already up, going towards the bottom. He wants to just delay this as long as possible. He does get the stop on the interrupt rather. There's Exhaust though, taking so much magic damage from both of these mages. Goes down. Blueberry shows up just in case. The Boneyard's going to go back in favor of PECS. And if they hold on to this long enough, they may be able to end the game right here. But Point Defense has been playing it much better now. MKH sticking with Ezreal and Brand, and that's been the power right now. Those three people just making power plays as Evelyn goes back. But look at that burst damage coming out from Buddha Rice with the Crushing Blow and Cyclone. And there's the finish knock-up by Malphite as Brand, or Monkey King, picks up the kill. And now MMKH just being super tanky, waiting for his teammates to show up. There's the Fire Glass, but great divide by Buddha Rice, but his decoy actually didn't help and ended up putting out more damage to himself, so he gets taken out by MKH. Great garrison by Painkiller, just trying to delay as long as possible. 28 points left on Point Defense Nexus. We do see Converteris looking to distract, maybe go for a back cap, maybe get a pick off. He's just roaming about the map, and that's all he's been doing, making plays everywhere on this map. Painkiller has still been defending this tower. Buddha Rice is back, and so is Captain Booberry. MKH is going to go down. Evelyn shows up with the ultimate, but it's not good enough. There's suppression, there's Trump the Waters by Commodores, but he was exhausted, so the damage isn't there. But look at the burst damage coming out from Buddha Rice. He is just ripping through the enemy's health with that last Whisper and the used Ghost Blade. High Peoples now trying to keep this tower neutral at the very least. Buddha Rice should be going down here. No, he's still, no, he did go down. The decoy was still alive. Blueberry now alone in this 2v1. They need to get this tower back for point defense if they want to stay in the game. Envit's been putting out way too much pressure in the bottom lane.
And Confidaris dives right in for High Peoples and does a huge amount of damage right there. I mean, MMKH doing the most fight that he can with that Alistar, making it just tremendous effect of that Sheen damage. You know, pop an ability, get that Sheen proc, make sure you expend that before you land that next effect. Using the heal to trigger Sheen so he gets more damage, and he's had just really good control over how he delivers that Sheen damage all game long. And now High Peoples on Magi Melkor going Confidaris. Confidaris' escape is on cooldown right now. He's doing a really good job of dodging skill shots, and he's able to clear some distance to get away. Bottom point, however, things are looking a little ugly though. Zaber's getting zoned away from the point, trying to finish off Painkiller, but Captain Blueberry is doing a lot of work on him.
Commentaries is still making this game fine and gets hit by a Mystic Shot. Meanwhile, bottom lane, PECS, no, they're not able to get the capture just yet. The minions finish off the job. There's a 3-cap, there's 10 points left. They need to get it neutralized almost immediately to stop the clock for point defense, but I don't think that's going to happen. Will PECS take this game to bring it back? We do see Brand going for the drill, but Diana's right there. It's not going to happen. 5 seconds left, and point defense has no answer. Game 2 victory will be going to PECS Evelyn Child Support as they get back into the finals for a Game 3 tie.